Let's see if we get this. Boom, 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 boom. Start streaming. All right. Hey, it works. Look at that.
Okay.
So that's working. Starting live. And we, all right.
So
Switch
can't
that.
remove you from this background.
Huh?
I said it's too bad we can't get you a little way further away from this wall.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that's your phone.
That's the phone. That's there, and we are
You're really
set.
blown out on the phone.
Huh?
I said you're really blown out.
I'm always blown out on the phone, but that's all right. We'll because it's different cameras and stuff, so we're fine.
To check with the Dean Nimmin and see.
Ooh, yeah. I need to check with those guys. All right. So.
He's the mobile.
Yeah, he is. It's crazy.
Guy.
Hey, Whips, how you doing, my friend? Good for you to join us. I appreciate that. Hey, just getting everything set up. It's been a while. I do apologize. We are back in action. All right, it is Wednesday night. My name is Big Poppa. That is CJ Watson behind the camera. And we are into the Derbyverse. If you do not know who we are, or if we haven't met, my name is Big Poppa. I'm a announcer and NSO here in Southern California. And every Wednesday, we talk to people and talk Derby. Simple as that. What happened over last weekend? What's coming up? What are some of the new things going on? So, you know, that's what we got coming up. So, again, if you're watching us, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Let us know if you're watching us live or on the rebroadcast. If you got a question, let us know. Also, let us know where you're watching. Whips, where are you watching us from? I know you're watching us. So, all right. Again, my name is Big Poppa. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, the Derby that was, and the Derby that was back on March 9th, it was a little bit busy day there. We had three things we were going to cover. So Saturday, March 9th, it was the West Coast Derby Knockouts, the TKOs, taking on San Fernando Valley Roller Derby. They had a double header. They're at the lot in Sylmar. That's at 12900 Bradley Avenue. So basically, it was the juniors up first. And the juniors up first, it was the Gnarlies taking on West Coast Junior Knockouts. Now, the Gnarlies are ranked 14th in the Junior Derby News Network, and the West Coast Junior Knockouts were ranked 18th. So, at the end of the bout, it was actually the West Coast Junior Knockouts taking the win, 436 to 44. It was a good bout. I mean, a lot of things going on. West Coast Junior Knockouts have been on a roll. They are still growing their program. They are actually for JRDA, which is Junior Roller Derby Association. They are one of the teams that are ranked in both the female division and also the open division. If you're not familiar with JRDA, just like WFTDA, they do have their rankings, and they actually do provide two divisions, female and then open, and open is their co-ed. So, and to rank in JRDA, you have to play two sanctioned games with two ranked teams, just like that, and that comes out. Now, if you're not with JRDA, another great thing that we use is the Junior Derby News. They do a ranking just like JRDA every month, and that's everybody. They take all the youth team, the junior teams and stuff like that. So even if you're ranked or, with JRDA or not, they do cover you, and that's really nice. You kind of get a blend of where everybody's at. So, want to talk also about after that junior bout, you had the adults. Now, with the adults, you had the OMGs taking on the TKOs. Now, this was a non-sanctioned bout with the OMGs and TKOs. At halftime, it was 81 to 13 in favor of San Fernando OMGs. Then the final, it was the OMGs taking the win, running wild over the TKOs, 202 to 36. So that was a barn burner there. So it was really nice. San Fernando Valley Roller Derby, the OMGs, they was off a little bit last season because of World Cup. They had a lot of players playing in World Cups. Team Japan, Team Korea, Team Philippines, Team USA, Team Mexico. Oh my gosh, it was really good to watch that World Cup. So you got to see everybody there. But that was, again, the doubleheader over at San Fernando Valley back on March 9th. Now, also March 9th was the hometown throwdown by the Los Angeles Renegade Roller Girls. They were taking out on the Outlaw Renegades. Now, the Renegades, LA Renegades, they were actually back in their hometown of Covina. That's where they started, so they were able to get that and come back to Covina for their season opener. They had a black versus blue scrimmage, and then they had the LA Renegades taking on the Outlaw Renegades. So with the black versus blue, it was the Team Black taking the win 93-72 for that win there. So shout out to Team Black on that one. The other thing that you had is you had the Renegades taking on the Outlaws. LA Renegades came away with that win after 3 periods of play. It was 156 for the Renegades and 33 for the Outlaws. Now this again, it was back in their home team of Covina, hometown of Covina. So that'll be nice. Maybe we'll see more and more games going out there. Big weekend for JRDA on that weekend. Los Anarchists had the Shamblock Shake Junior Roller Derby Tournament. Now, it was hosted by Los Anarchists at Anarchy Hall. It was 2 days of JRDA-sanctioned roller derby bouts. The teams that were competing was Kalamazoo Killer Bees, the Denver Major Turbulence, San Diego Derby United, LA Revolt, and Los Anarchists. Now, Los Anarchists are ranked number 3, and also Kalamazoo Killer Bees are ranked number 9. The other teams haven't played enough games to get them ranked, but I would imagine after this weekend that they have, it's really good. Talk about JRDA action with Los Anarchists at Anarchy Hall. What's really nice, if you ever have a bout there and you want to see this and you can't make it down, Los Anarchists has a YouTube channel, so you can go straight to their YouTube channel. They stream it live. They've got it really nice setup, so you can take a look at it and stream it live. And again, that's the Los Anarchists YouTube channel. So I would go over there. I would hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, so you know anytime that there's a bout coming up, you'll be able to see it. Speaking of bout coming up, their next tournament is April 13th. That's the Tournament of Champions. You're going to have top 10 teams from all over the United States coming to this tournament. So go ahead and take a look at that. And keep that note on their YouTube channel, because I'll talk about that here in a moment. So the first game up, that was the Los Anarchists taking on the Killer Bees. It was Los Anarchists having the win at 275-71. Then it was LA Revolt taking on Denver, Major Turbulence, and it was Major Turbulence for the win at 328-52. Rounding up that day was the Killer Bees taking on Derby United. Killer Bees came away with the win on that one, had a little bit of rest, and they took the win 226-47. Now, when you do this with the JRDA, they do a lot of round robin, so it's really nice. It's not a double elimination. It's coming in, playing other teams. You get to play everybody else that's there. So they have, a small number of teams playing, 5 or 6. But you get the round robin going on. There's no winner. There's no tournament champion or anything like that. You go out there and you play. It's just like having individual games. So we start on Sunday, and let's talk about Sunday. Sunday was the first game out, was, I really think, the game of the weekend. It was the Killer Bees from Kalamazoo taking on Major Turbulence from Denver. You want to talk about a clinic, a defense clinic. That was, both of them were given the clinic out. The first half, 81-54. That was the score. But let's talk about, how close it was the first half. First half, with 81-54, you had 22 jams total for that for that half. You had Denver taking 10 of the lead jams, taking 10 lead jams. You had the Killer Bees taking 8. Okay, just taking 8. So that's close. And the rest, there was no lead jammer, whether they either fouled out, lost lead, or anything like that. So it was really close. Then they ended the game. Kalamazoo just came on strong at the end with 15 jams. Only 15 jams that they had at the second half. Kalamazoo took 9 of the 15. Denver took 4 of the 15. So it basically, at the end of it, you had Kalamazoo taking 45.95% of the lead jams, and then you had Denver at 37.84 of the lead jams. But let's take a look at that score. At the end, it was the Killer Bees at 226 to it was Killer Bees at 212. And Major Turbulence Denver at 79. So it was just Killer Bees taking it. There were at least 3 or 4 jams where it was over 20 points. There was one jam alone that was 36 points in a single jam. So that was amazing. Yes, it was a power jam and stuff. But the reason I say that's the game of the weekend was that when you're talking defense with a lot of the teams, I've been in Derby for this is my 7th season. So when I started, a lot of it was just the defense, the pack, trying to knock the jammer out. Just trying to knock the jammer out of the pack, trying to knock the jammer, get them off the track so they don't have to worry about that. But I really think it was Victoria that came out a couple years ago and showed containment of the jammer. It is easier to contain the jammer than it is trying to knock the jammer out. So that was the first time I really saw the pyramid, the tripod, whatever you want to call it, that little pyramid setup. And what was really good is all the defensive players would come through that back wall. They would have the jammer, the blocker here, and then the brace up in front. And what would happen is they basically come in when the jammer hits in. What's the jammer going to do? Go right in between the two. And they basically lock that jammer down with their hips. And it's basically like a vice grip. And then they just start rotating. Wherever that jammer went, they would rotate it. Or they would also open up that pyramid to make that 3-wall. If you want to see this in action, go to, again, the Los Anarchists YouTube channel for their day 2, their Sunday. That's the first game, which is, again, Killer Bees taking on Major Turbulence. And again, it's really great to see because they really put it in there and use it. I've seen it. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, the light just turned on. It was like, oh, that's the way it's supposed to happen. That's the way you're supposed to be doing it. So if you ever want to see how really to do that 3-wall, that tripod, the pyramid, whatever you want to call it, watch it. It's amazing. So again, just really great, a great game there. That's been 2 weeks ago, and I'm still thinking about it. So on Game 5 of Sunday, you had LA Revolt taking on Derby United. It was Derby United out of San Diego. They won it 398 to 105. Okay. Then it was the last game, which was Denver. Major Turbulence taking on Derby United. And it was Major Turbulence for the win at 241 to 101. So that was just, again, a phenomenal tournament. I NSO'd, I was jam timer for the first bout, and then I was the announcer. And what was really nice about that, I actually had Ulrich von Hertem from Beach Cities. He came up and we were tag teaming and stuff like that. The second day, if you watch the live YouTube channel, what's really nice, you'll actually be able to hear us because guess what? This Anarchy Hall, their sound system people actually set up a headset for us, so we could actually, plug it in and actually get to listen to each other. That's a lot of times that Anarchy Hall is a great place to go to, but man, it is noisy because everybody is excited. So it's really great to see something like that. So that's always neat to see. And again, be sure to check back with them and stuff like that. But let's talk about this real quick. JRDA, the juniors. If they are, which they are, our future of roller derby, man, we are in a good spot. Oh, are we in a good spot for what's coming up, the future of it. I saw, players that were just sportsmanship by all means were just above board. It was great. You had other, teammates giving high fives, giving hugs. It's like, hey, shake it off. You'll do better next jam. You had other teams out there going, hey, good job, or rooting it on and stuff like that. But it was just really great. A couple of the players that really stood out for us. Out of Kalamazoo, the Killer Bees, it was Princess Lay You Out. And she is... oh gosh, I don't know how old she is. She's young. For most of the girls, most of the ladies who are like 10, 11, 12, she might have been 10, but she was like half their height. But her tenacity was amazing. She just came, boom, she was like hunting jammers. And she would come around the corner, take the jammer out that would be twice her size and just take him out. The other one you've got to take a look at is from LA Revolt. It was Hellcat. Oh my gosh. Again, a small, petite skater. But man, she just would jam, and she actually came underneath the blockers a couple times. She also would be coming over. We actually saw her, one blocker tried to come down to block her, and she basically rolled over her back. Basically tried to jump over her back. And it was amazing. The other thing, too, is the awareness of the skaters, where in the past, where if the jammer got past you, you would just, let them go. Okay, no problem. We'll just let them go. This time, if the jammer got past you, those blockers would be coming around and resetting in front of that jammer or resetting in front of the opposing team. So again, the sportsmanship and the athleticism and just the gameplay alone was amazing. Amazing. So yeah, again, if you ever get a chance, Los Anarchists, Anarchy Hall, great setup, great derby action. Again, they've got their YouTube channel, so make sure to go on there, like it, subscribe it, hit that bell so you get the notifications. And again, their next tournament up is April 13th, which is the Tournament of Champions. So please be sure to check that out. Check out their Facebook site because they will, they do great promotion and they give a little rundown of the teams that are coming up. So that's really great. So continuing to last Saturday, which was last Saturday, which was actually the greatest roller derby show. This was Saturday, March 16th. It was hosted by Hidden City Derby Girls. It was Hidden City Derby Girls taking on Badfish. And it was followed up by a mashup, which was Clowns versus Freaks. So that's always nice to see. At the halftime, really good on this one. The proceedings for this went to High Hope's head injury program. So we talked about it last season, as far as concussions and stuff like that. Really being, what are we doing and being more aware of it and stuff. But again, so the High Hope's head injury program that's where some of the proceeds went to. But at halftime, it was very close. It was Hidden Cities at 47, Badfish at 56. Close game. And then Badfish just came on and little clutch shift gas, and they took the win 137 to 95. So that's always great to see. Now, also down in Orange County, that was Pulp Fiction. They were taking on the Wipeouts from San Fernando, and it was Pulp Fiction that was victorious on that. So, another great weekend of Derby. So we had a couple coming up last week and stuff like that. So a couple things to touch base on. If you take a look at the Battle of the Inland Empire United, so basically you've got teams that are set up from the Inland Empire. They are actually coming up with almost like a series of their own that they actually are starting at the end of this month. It is 3 games on a Sunday. They take 2 months off, a month off. Then the next, month after that, they play another one. And they basically have, a nice, let's say, conference set up. And at the end of it, they'll have their Battle of the Inland Empire tournament, the championships. So that would be really good to see. So if you get a chance, go up to their Facebook page. Next week we'll talk more about it, so you can kind of get a rundown, a look-see of it. The other thing to take a look at too is they actually have a season pass. So basically on a Sunday you'll have 3 games. It costs you $10. Great value. $10 you get 3 games. That's a full day. But they have a season pass which actually saves you more. So that's something to take a look at. So enough on that and stuff. Yesterday I posted up on our Facebook page a question. Can a person, just a single person, really make a difference? We had something here locally in the community that happened last week. The owner of Cal Skate Grand Terrace, Ryan, he passed away. This is a gentleman that was born a rink rat. He grew up in skating. He grew up. He owned a business. He owned restaurants, but then he came and actually owned. Took ownership of Cal Skate. And when you have roller rinks closing, when you have them closing, not reopening, or just run down, here came a person and revitalized it. You have to see what they did, what the guy did. Redid the floors, put in new carpeting. He had plans. Oh my gosh, he had plans. And he came in and basically just revitalized it. He was great for the Inland Empire Derby Divas. That's their home rink. But you just got to see more and more people coming in and enjoying roller skating. You got to see it on a better, in a better track. I never met the guy, but just to hear it from my daughters, as far as the excitement and the anticipation of it, he had plans. So he was basically taken from us way too early. And so to answer where I'm getting to answer that question, can a single person really make a difference? And my answer is yes. Give me more examples. You have Poppa. He's a coach for the LA Renegade Roller Girls. Okay? One person. In the tournament last year in Taft, he had a belief in his team. He was coaching and he had a belief in his team, and because he had the belief in his team, he actually led them to a win. And it wasn't just a win. It was a come from behind at the last jam type of win, because he knew that they could do it. That's great. That just didn't affect him. That affected his team, and not just his team. It affected the entire community out there to be able to have that and see that. And we still talk about that. We still talk about that. And that was a back-to-back championships for the Renegades. Other things you need to see. Can a single person really make a difference? I want to give a shout out to, I'm not sure if she's still on, but Whips and Salsa. If you're still on, let's talk about this. She is a new skater. She just finished her minimum skills. She skates for Inland Empire Derby Divas. She is with the Vixens, and she set her goals up. She set goals up that she knows that she little bites, and she continues to stay on top of it. If you go to her Facebook page, every day she has a motivational talk, a motivational saying that's out there. And if you ever need a lift up, you can go there and see that. But she really cares about her teammates. She really cares about everybody else. And she makes a difference. It may be something small, but there are times that you just need that little push, that little, hey, you're doing a good job, or hey, I appreciate you. And there was a comment somebody made that's like, you know what? Whips, I really do appreciate it, because there's days that I'm down and I'll be able to see you. Another one, Rainbow Warrior. She does her works, and she does her skating, but she also does like an afternoon workout, and she posts her stuff out there. And there's some days that you just need that motivational thing to say, hey, I don't want to do it, but if Rainbow Warrior's doing it, I need to do it. I can do it. So it's out there. You see that in a lot of different places and stuff. And so if you ever think about, I shouldn't do it because it's not going to be making much difference, I say do it, because you will make a difference. There will be somebody that needs you, or at a specific time or a specific moment, and you don't know it. Because you do what you do and you do it how you do it, it'll make it. So I know I've been rambling a little bit, and I apologize for that. But again, just want to make sure that you like and give us a thumbs up, and let us know up on our Facebook page. If you've got some photos and stuff, send them over our way. If you got things that you are doing, or games that you want to cover, or teams that you want to cover, or questions you want to cover, or people that you want us to interview, let us know that. Next weekend, we're actually going to start our first email interview. It is actually Piggy Fatness. He is Sergio Barrera. He actually is an announcer out of San Antonio. And this guy travels all over the place. 2 weeks ago, he went up to Denton. He's from San Antonio, went up to Denton. That's 271 miles one way. Next time, I think he's got something coming up this weekend, and he comes up, he'll come up and he'll go 300-400 miles. He'll go from Texas to Florida. So, we're going to talk about him. He's got a couple podcasts. If you're into WWE, Mr. Michael Wise, you may want to check him out. It's Three Dudes of Doom, another wrestling podcast. And they just talk about, podcasts and wrestling and stuff like that. So that's coming up next week. So be sure to check it in. And again, it's an email. We've talked to him before, because he's always, he's actually doing his podcasts as we speak. So that's why he's not live. But we're going to be setting that up. So again, shoot us those emails and stuff like that. We'd love to talk to you guys and stuff. Again, the challenge is still out there for a team or individual player who wants to try out Derby Inc. That's going to be the temporary numbers for your farm. Let me know. We want to kind of like do a little product review or field test on that. So we'll get that checked out. So what we got there, Mr. Watson?
Maybe we can just find some guinea pigs the next time you go out and call. And grab a set of numbers.
And I'm just going to go out and start putting numbers on everybody.
Do you play?
Here you go. No.
You got one on your face
well,
anyway.
you're gonna get the numbers just because we say so. Yeah. How does it feel? Does it make my butt look big? So, all right then. So again, we got more Derby coming up. You've got Big O tournament coming up. You've got major tournaments and everything going on. You got the Auto Bowl. Let's talk about a couple things real quick. We are actually looking. It's actually LA Renegade Roller Girls. They are looking for a head referee for their April 27th bout. So if you are a head referee and are available on April 27th, please check out LA Renegade Roller Girls. I would really appreciate that. Other things to check out too. Hey, Mr. Nito, how you doing? One of the other things I want to comment on. You'll see it on our Facebook page. Go back to Moss Wild. She is a head NSO. She's having a hard time, so I want to see if we can't kind of like reach out to her. She was actually accepted to go to the Big O tournament up in Oregon coming up shortly, but she's needing your help. Just needing your help. So go on to that little message there on our Facebook. She gives you a little rundown and asks, for some help. So if you can help her out, that's great. Throw a couple bucks or something like that. I was always appreciative because she does a lot for the community and stuff like that. Other thing I want to talk about, I'm not sure if he's there, but you probably know him, and that is Nightmare. He is a photographer. He goes all over the place. He is battling cancer. He is battling some other things too, and it's really hard. Take a deep breath. He actually missed some Derby, and it was really, really hard on him. But I just want to give a shout out to Nightmare and just tell you, dude, heal yourself up. Take some time, recoup, and come back to the track because we miss you. You can go to his name is JM Knight. If you could help him out, that's great. I would really appreciate that. Personally, I would. Nice guy, tries a lot, and does a lot. So that's there too. So again, more things coming down the pipeline. Still trying to work on a few things too. So we'll have some more information of what we want to do. But I'm just going to go ahead and end it now. And end it now. Look at me. It's the traffic. I'm sorry. It's the traffic on the 118, the 405, the 5, and the 14 that's driving me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, all right. So, hey, as always, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. My name is Big Poppa. That is CJ Watson. This is Into the Derbyverse. And as always, keep your friends close and your enemies within 20 feet of the pack. Good night.